Welcome to GCU Review.
Getting closer.
What's hot and what's not.
Getting closer.
Bye.
Getting closer.
Hey guys, I'm Dee.
And I'm Danielle.
And welcome to
GCU Review.
Well, today we're doing the Netflix film Dumplin, starring Jennifer Aniston.
Yes, and it's a 2018 film that's based on a young adult novel. It stars Jennifer Aniston, as she mentioned, and Danielle McDonald as her daughter. The namesake of the movie, Dumplin. And in it, Dumplin basically decides to join a pageant ran by her former pageant queen mother in order to spite her, basically.
Yep.
And kind of make a point about social norms and standards and fitting in, because she does not fit the mold, or she believes, of what a pageant queen is or what her mom expects her to be.
And that's the thing. She doesn't fit the pattern of what her mama thinks she should be, or what she thinks beauty pageants contestants should look like.
Exactly.
And I think that's where this movie Dumplin, and it was one of my faves, because it's one of those movies where you get all of the outcasts together to do a rebel type of situation. So I've always been kind of a rebel. So this was my thing. So yeah, in the film, it starts off with Dumplin, which is Willow Dean. Her actual name, she spends a lot of time with her auntie, which they have a lot in common, because her auntie was considered a plus size woman, and so she's considered a plus size woman, and so she gets a lot of her confidence and all that from her auntie.
Yeah.
Which in the middle of the film, her auntie dies, and so this is where the rebel in her comes in.
Yeah, like her and her aunt had a very unique bond. One, because they were both thicker, little plus size cuties,
Fluffies.
and she just saw her as this otherworldly being.
Right.
She was just so bright and bubbly and happy and dressed well and always had her hair done and always had words of wisdom for her, and helped her discover one of her main loves, which was the music of Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton.
And the themes in Dolly Parton's music. And they shared a love of that with one another. That was really a confidence boost for both of them.
It was.
Or at least she was hoping it would be.
And so it comes along where the yearly beauty pageant of the city comes in, and
Ran by her mom, Miss Bluebonnet or something like that.
Yeah, and come to find out her mom was a fluffy back in the day.
Back in the day. And lost weight specifically to get into this pageant, because she just felt like she needed to change herself to get into it, and couldn't get into it otherwise, which I'm sure probably in 1991, because that was definitely, the pageant world is very stereotypical in the manner that you have to be a certain kind of way. It kind of displays what they feel the best of the best is, and the best of the best has always been a certain type.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Especially when you have swimsuit competitions and things like that are meant to show off a certain physique.
But I think what her mama's thing was is she didn't have the confidence when she was fluffy that her sister had. And so that's the confidence that Dumplin has in here, that regardless of what you look like or what you think I'm supposed to look like, this is me and this is who I am. And that was dope for me. Yeah.
And so what Dumplin ends up struggling with after her aunt passes away is navigating in a world where you don't have that example of confidence anymore. And you're also dealing with grief.
Right.
Because the thing is, if you don't find it in yourself first, other people can't give it to you. You don't own it.
Yeah.
Her aunt gave her as much as she could, but Dumplin did not own it for herself. And so she struggled with a lot of things. She struggled with acceptance. She struggled with seeing herself through her mother's eyes.
And she struggled herself with being beautiful. People thought she was, because you with your mother, who is a whole winner of the
and living, and who is consistently living in that moment, by the way.
Oh my God.
This is like where her mama peaked. And I hate to say that,
it's like some people when they get stuck in they revels. You know
They
what I'm
get stuck
saying?
in their high school years. It's like this is the best thing that ever happened to them, and it's like nothing else.
Yep.
But I will say something else interesting about this movie is it kind of feels like it's going to be stereotypical. It feels like it's going to go a certain way, but it really starts to become a lesson about not writing people off based on what you see.
Right.
Any of them.
Any
Not just Dumplin, but her mother too. And not just her mother, but the other girls in the pageant. Because when you make assumptions, you don't want to let people in. And sometimes your assumptions are founded because people bully Dumplin. There's many examples in the movie where people like literally mooing at her and calling her fat and calling her a whale and saying these things. And so she built up a wall that basically kept everybody out.
Yep.
And she assumed that everybody thought that way about her, and that is the thing in the movie that's different. You find out that not everybody thought that about her.
Well, I mean, and it's the same as when other people were getting bullied. She didn't like that.
Oh, no.
So she's gonna stand up for them, but that's the problem.
She kicked
People
that boy right in the gonads.
Okay,
Right
they
in the
stand up
gonads.
for somebody else, but then they don't stand up
And
for
then they don't
themselves.
stand up for themselves.
So yeah, I don't know. I may have a little bit of relating to this, I guess, because I think I was a little bullied in school. So you know, I kind of relate to things like this because you have to find that confidence in yourself. You know what I'm saying? Not just to give it to everybody else.
Exactly, because you can't accept things that you can't see.
Right.
And she didn't see it. And so that kind of ties in with the love interest in this, a young man named Bo. So Dumplin, Willa Dean, works in a diner
Willa Dean.
with this really little handsome cook.
Ooh, Bo was fine, y'all.
Bo is
Bo little
handsome.
lollipop. He had the little lollipop and
He's a little handsome. and he's been feeling Miss Willow Dean Oprah. But she
Yes.
doesn't see it.
because
And she
it
doesn't believe
wasn't
it.
about what he saw her as, is what he saw in her
Right.
that he fell in love with. And I'm gonna say that because I think it was.
I think he was in love with her, and she just couldn't accept it. But so the middle part of the story picks up with, you know, the mom and daughter getting into a fight. All these things come to a head. Being upset about the aunt passing away, being upset about the mom being so involved in these pageants and just not seeing Willow Dean for who she is. And Willow Dean decides, you know what? She was going through her aunt's stuff, and she finds an entry form for the pageant in 1991 that she never sent in, which was odd because her aunt always seemed like the person who always did what she wanted to do. So why would she have just filled this out and not submitted it? It just didn't seem right.
It didn't seem right.
So she was like, you know what?
in honor of my aunt,
In honor of my aunt.
I'm gonna put my application in.
Yep, I'm gonna put my application in.
And then stun my mama.
And
'cause
stun my mama.
That's what it was.
She's like, her
it was
whole
an undercut.
Her whole idea was to make a mockery of the whole institution. Like, ha ha ha, you know, I'm gonna get in. I'm gonna show you how stupid this is. But she has someone else come into her life, a girl named Millie.
Millie. She's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
Millie is one of those fluffies who has confidence to where I'm just gonna do it.
She has
And if I'm gonna
real
do
confidence.
it, I'm gonna do it right. You know, I'm gonna study, I'm gonna learn to dance. And they was like, no, that ain't what we was doing.
She's like,
What we doing, girl?
no, we're joining this to like make a mockery of it because
Right.
there's no way that they would accept us. And Millie's like, oh, they're gonna accept me because I'm gonna learn these dance moves. I'm gonna have a cute dress. I'm gonna get up here and sing. My talent is fire. I'm happy and I want to make friends and I'm gonna have a great time. She's like, no, that's not how we break the wheel.
Right.
So
Hey, what you supposed to be doing, girl? You
Millie-
ain't supposed to be enjoying this.
no, you're supposed to be enjoying this. No,
Yes.
Millie came here to enjoy it, and that's the difference.
Millie
That's the
came
stark
on fire.
difference. She has a belief in herself that Dumplin doesn't have, and that threatens Dumplin in a way.
In a way, yep, because she didn't really want her to have that confidence. It was supposed to be, we just gonna trash this pageant and just be done with it. But
Yeah.
but Millie got in it.
Millie got in it, and she worked her butt off, and she stayed positive the entire time. There's this one part that I think is really telling about the difference between the two of them, where Millie, they're at the car talking, Millie and Dumplin, and this boy comes by and says, "You're fat," and and Dumplin says, you. And she goes, and Millie turns around and says, I'll pray for you.
Well, you know, that's what happens when you have that church instilled in you.
You got that, and a confidence that says, you can call me whatever you want, but that don't shake me. Because your problem is with you.
Have a blessed day.
Have a blessed day.
Okay.
Right. So, so they're in this. They're getting into this pageant world. Dumplin is starting to discover some things about herself. She's starting to learn some things about her mom and the other pageant girls. Like, not all of them are these perfect beings that she assumed that they were, and some of them have struggles too. But then another, I guess, group comes in to help encourage her and solidify her. She starts trying to find out more about her aunt, and she ends up going to this Dolly Parton night at a club that she assumed was a biker club. There was lots of leather, and there might have been a few bikers somewhere. But it was a drag bar. And so she gets there and she's like, okay, this was my aunt's scene.
All right.
These people were my aunt's tribe.
Okay.
And there was one drag queen, it was actually from, I'm a huge fan of RuPaul's Drag Race. She was in season 7. Her name was Ginger Minge. She was in it. And she was part of that team of people that helped uplift, not just Dumplin, but her other friends that were her other merry band of girls that was coming in to break the wheel. Teach them how to walk in heels, the dark souls. Teach them how to walk in heels and how to see themselves the way that they needed to see themselves.
To how to see themselves, though.
Yes.
Just period. And so I think that was a good thing to where, because, you know, people see drag queens and you're judgmental. But I think that was a good thing to put in there because that's the confidence that you have to have.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Forget what people think about you. Forget what they see. You need to see.
Yeah, and there's a lot of Dolly Parton music throughout this whole thing because that was part of the book. But Dolly Parton also executive produced this particular movie, and she's famous. She's famous for saying basically that if she wasn't a girl, she'd have been a drag queen. Which girls can be drag queens now too.
Right.
But she's basically been in drag her entire life, and she's always been somebody who gets ahead of the joke. Like, I know you're about to make fun of my blonde hair. You're going to make fun of my voice. You're going to make fun of my long nails because she had those long nails and she would play them. So you're going to make fun of my voice. You're going to make fun of where I'm from. You're going to make fun of my boobs. You're going to do all of that. But I'm got one step ahead of you because I did all this on purpose. It's who I am, and this is what I chose for myself. So you can make fun of whatever you want, but this is who I am.
Right.
So it was another element to the confidence boost. So this all starts to come together into the actual pageant. So when the actual pageant happens, there's a lot of twists and turns that go down, and
at the end, I mean, Willow Dean gets disqualified.
She did.
Because she did what she wanted to do.
Yeah.
She got up there and did her little act, but it turned out really good.
It was a technicality. She
She didn't get something.
Get her outfit approved or whatever.
Which her mama could have gave her a little favor,
but she didn't want her to.
But she didn't want her to, and she didn't really want to because I'm your mama. I can't do it. So.
You can't really earn it yourself if your mama give you everything.
Right.
So her mom starts to learn some things about her. She starts to they start to have an appreciation for each other in the way that they are earnestly going after making this pageant work. Like, she starts to see her mom is actually encouraging other kids and stuff. And she's like, well, my mom never did that for me. But it was kind of like, you kind of had a wall up. You kind of didn't really let her either.
Right.
So it was a lot of different things learned. But she gets disqualified. And Millie blew it out the water. That little girl could sing, honey.
Millie got up there and blew it, honey. And with all of her confidence and her bubbly-licious
her
bubbly-liciousness, she got what? First runner-up?
Yeah, first runner-up.
Yes.
Is what she got. And then one of the other girls won first place. But it's not even really about that. And because it's really about, again, everybody coming on this journey to dispel the assumptions they had about one another, dispel the things that they thought about themselves, the negative talk that happens inside when you basically start using other people's opinions as part of what's written in your book. And to bring up RuPaul again, 2 great quotes from RuPaul.
Come on,
one
RuPaul.
is, if you can't love yourself, how the hell you gonna love somebody else?
That part.
Facts. And then the other one is, your opinion of me is none of my business.
At all. How you feel about me? Have nothing to do with
It's
that.
literally none of my business.
Yep.
So she gets disqualified. You know, everybody they've learned a lot about each other, and then she had a little falling out with the little dude that liked her and stuff. So she shows up at the end and lets her know.
Go get her man. Go get your
ready.
man.
I'm ready for you
Go get your man.
to love on me now because I love myself.
Because now I love myself.
Because now I love myself.
And that's just what it is. A love yourself type of movie.
It really is.
What you think?
I feel it. It was very relatable for me. I love the themes of, you know, not losing hope and understanding that giving people a chance is very important. Mm-hmm. It really is. You can have darts and stuff like that if they step over the bounds. Shoot that arrow if you need to, but give somebody a chance because they might surprise you and it might help you understand them and yourselves a little bit better. So with the overall themes, everything of that, I'm going to give it a hot.
It's a hot for me.
Definitely a hot for me.
It, like you said, very relatable. And then the outcome, it surprised me because, you know, you think that, you know, it's going to be a whole nother outcome. But Millie, I loved her.
Millie was so cool.
I loved Millie. She was my favorite character in that movie. So, Dumplin gets a hot for me. Y'all go check it out on Netflix. I don't know. I think it was in the strip of top movies for right now. It came out in 2018, but it's still something. And
it definitely was its first run. It's been on Netflix for a while.
This needs to be somebody tag Lizzo. Because this is a Lizzo feel-good type of movie.
And she probably already...
to where, you know, the Lizzo confidence came out. Mm-hmm. So, you know, being fluffy, being different, being anything, as long as you love yourself, that's the message that I got.
That's the message that I got, too. I love it. I like the movie. I love anything called dumpling. I enjoy chicken and dumplings. I enjoy soup dumplings, Asian soup dumplings. I've not been failed by a dumpling yet. And this also counts.
Okay.
So go check it out. So tell us what you think in the comments. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. And we'll see y'all again.
See y'all again. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.